Legendary Puerto Rican fighter Felix Tito Trinidad is in a bad spot, nearing bankruptcy. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. If you want to be part of notification gang, hit that bell icon. Now, these are the type of stories that I don't even like to cover because it hurts my heart. Because this is a person I grew up watching, Felix Tito Trinidad, age 44, and he's dealing with the legal case, and the litigation is coming to an end, or they're trying to wrap it up. And he may lose the case, and if he loses the case, he'll be bankrupt, right? And he says, and I quote, "I have lost almost all of my money. In the event I lose the case, I can remain as he has been in the press in total bankruptcy," right? And it says in his 18-year career as a pro, he won several titles. He faced legendary people like Roy Jones and just different people. And in the 3 weight classes, he generated more than $90 million in earnings, right? And they said he lost $63 million in bad investments in Puerto Rico, government bonds and different stuff like that. So it's just, this is a mess, you know what I mean? And he's already ruled out the idea of coming back to boxing. He's 44, and he says it's frustrating because already at my age, my reflexes and my skills are no longer the same to go back to boxing. So he's telling you that even if I'm in dire straits and I need the money, I can't even go back to the career that I once had. You know what I mean? And I would probably agree. I mean, he hasn't fought in 9 years. I've seen recent pictures. He doesn't look in terrible shape. Like, he's not like as big as Prince Nassim Ahmed or Ricky Hatton from where they were fighting at. But he is bigger. You can tell he's clearly bigger. And you can't just be at like that. You're asking for real life health issues. If you take all that time off, Tito Trinidad doesn't even have the style that would make for a person to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was very good, a devastating left hook, probably one of my favorite left hooks in boxing history. But he doesn't have the fundamental technical sound prowess. Like, you know what I mean? If you look at it, I always say this: guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys like Bernard Hopkins, they can compete at a later age because it's not based solely on like power, speed, and athleticism. They have certain things that stay with you, fundamentals, like, oh, I can use a high guard, I can go to the shoulder roll. They can mix it up a bit more. Felix Tito Trinidad, he's a power guy, you know what I mean? He was a strong fighter, and like I said, it's just, to me, you've been out almost a decade, and he doesn't really have the style to come back at age 44 and compete. Like, first of all, what division would he even fight in? I don't know how much he weighs or anything, you know what I mean? And I mean, how's he gonna beat Jamal Charlo or somebody at 160, Golovkin, when he's 44 years old and they've been fighting actively nonstop? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we even seen Winky Wright when he fought Peter Quillen. Shout out to my dude Kid Chocolate. But he was on like a 3-year hiatus and he didn't even look the same. You know what I mean? Because that was an early Quillen. That was when Quillen was kind of coming up. That was like Quillen's first big step up. And it was a Winky Wright off a hiatus. People don't even remember that fight. But let alone Tito Trinidad, who's been MIA from the boxing world directly for nearly a decade. So it's just sad, bad investments and stuff like that. And people wonder, like, oh, why do you think Al Heyman's good for boxing and stuff? This is the reason, because at least these fighters are being properly compensated and taken care of. They're not getting their brains bashed in every single fight. Like I told you guys, with Francisco Vargas, whoever his handlers are, he needs to scrap them and start fresh, because the fact that they sent that man out to war against Takashi Miura, then Orlando Salido, and then Miguel Berchelt, all within probably 24 months, you know what I mean? 18 months or whatever it was. was just career suicide. He lost his title. That's not how you build your champion. You know what I'm saying? It just, you can't take that like tough. That's like any job. It doesn't even matter with boxing. It's not just a boxing thing. Like, let's say you work at some kind of I don't know, Coca-Cola company or something, right? And it's hot in there, and you're doing a lot of manual labor, forklift, and just a lot of grueling work. That's like you working overtime every single day, 1 day off for 3 weeks. You would be burnt out too. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I'm sick of these 12, 14, 16 hour shifts. You know what I mean? For 3 weeks, you gotta recover. You gotta recharge your batteries. And I feel bad for Felix Tito Trinidad, and he's not the only story in boxing we've seen like this. I heard Meldrick Taylor works in Philly at a grocery store bagging groceries or something. Doesn't even have all his faculties. So, I mean, guys like Floyd Mayweather are smart, and I see why people hate him, because people from past generations got robbed by the Don Kings of the world or whoever promoter, and now you can make so much money in boxing. And Floyd Mayweather, some people like, man, I'm a more entertaining style than Floyd when I fought. And Floyd is taking less damage, making more money than these dudes. So, you know what I mean? I see why some of these guys have resentment. But Floyd is smart. He robbed the bank, and he does what he does, and he has an offense, but he's defensive too. So he doesn't, you know what I mean? He's not in there talking all crazy and punch drunk and stuff like that, because that's what really hurts these boxers. Felix Tito Trinidad, he already said he can't come back to boxing because he doesn't feel he's the same fighter. His reflexes and slowing down at 44. But that's the worst part about boxing, is a lot of these guys don't know nothing else. They've been boxing since they were kids, and some of them are hurt and punch drunk, can't talk. So how are you gonna get a job? You're gonna get a job at Target, and you know what I mean? Your speech is not even great. You have no level of social skills or communication skills to handle like customer interactions, because you're used to ripping people's heads off and knocking people out or getting knocked out or whatever has transpired in your career. You don't know about customer service and stuff. So it's sad, man. And I don't see how the Mike Tysons and the Felix Tito Trinidad, how do you have 60, 90, $100 million and then you just blow it in the course of like a decade? That's the amount of money that some people will never ever touch. You know what I mean? A lifetime of money. So clearly some bad investments, and I've seen it. It's just celebrities gotta be smart. You know what I mean? Get the right team. Floyd always says that. Ward, every time I talk to him, he says stuff like that. Like, I got the right team around me. I got Josh Dubin, Jay Prince, Virgil Hunter, Rock Nation, Michael Yorman. You know what I mean? You got to get the right team around you to advise you, because you're a fighter. Your job is to fight, train, and all that. But you got to have the right people around you. People who are trying to like stifle your money or like take money from you, extort you. It's just this stuff that happens. You know what I mean? And it's sad to see a legend talking about, I might be bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? When there's people like on YouTube who make more money than you. You know what I mean? That's nuts to me, that you could be a legend in your field and not be financially well off for you or your family. So unfortunate news. I'm not sure all the details beyond what I've said about how he lost all his money. I just heard he had some bad investments with government bonds in Puerto Rico, and for whatever reason it didn't work out. Then he's going through this lawsuit, and they're coming after him. So it's crazy. And like I said, a lot of these guys, they don't really have much. I see how depression can run high. They need some kind of like pension program, like for like a retirement thing plan or something for boxers, because this is crazy. You know what I mean? I see why depression would run rampant, because go from being a heavyweight champion of the world like Mike Tyson, or a welterweight champ like Felix Tito Trinidad, and being on top of the world, everybody loves you. They're throwing parades for you in New York and Puerto Rico and shit like that. And then less than a decade, you're talking about you're flat broke, you can't come back to boxing, and you've seen all your money gobbled up. Boxing is so brutal, man. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite Felix Tito Trinidad memories. Hopefully something can happen and he pulls through with some kind of situation that helps him and his family. But it's just nuts to me to see that these fighters always go through. It's like history repeats itself. Like we keep seeing fighters come back and I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with their money. I don't know how they're investing. But like I said, the people like Al Heyman, you can't knock him for building his fighters up, and they're getting proper paychecks and things like that, because boxing is unforgiving. When you're gone, people forget about you. When you start losing too much, people forget about you. And that's the reality of it. And who do you have to turn to at that point? Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.